Hi, here we go again. I've attempted to shoot this video, well, this would be the third time now. The first time I forgot to turn the mic on. The second time I shot the entire thing, edited it, and now I can't bear to look at it because I just find it too cringy. I swear a lot, and I say dark and darkness a lot, and I compare human beings to Ted Bundy a lot, so I'm gonna try to do this again and do it better. I want to just get a video out there. It doesn't have to be perfect, but so yeah, I feel like this is gonna be my last try now. Otherwise I'll just have to throw out the Ted Bundy video and see how it goes. I feel really weird talking to the camera still though, and especially having to repeat a conversation to the camera I've already had already. But I guess practice makes perfect, and I just have to get comfortable being alone in a room talking to myself. So here it goes. I want to talk about intrusive thoughts because it's something I'm struggling a lot with myself. And it's also something I know my sister is struggling with, and I think many people are struggling with, yet they might not even know they are, or they might be ashamed to say. So one reason someone might not say they have intrusive thoughts is because they don't know. They simply don't know that they are not their thoughts, and so they might be identifying a lot with them, feeling like they're being defined by the thoughts that they have. So the first thing we have to come to terms with is the fact that we're not our thoughts. And that might be hard for you to hear because you might love your thoughts. You might identify a lot with your thoughts. You might think you're the smartest, most cleverest narrator there is inside of your own mind, and that's okay, that's great, because we create our own person by putting values to different things and then take those and make it our own, sort of make it about us. I remember when I was younger, when I was a child, I had a friend and we would watch movies together, and she would always say, "Who in this movie are you?" And I'm like, "What? None, I'm me, you know?" And she would be like, "No, I'm Nala from The Lion King, or I'm this one from that one, or this one from that one." Oh, okay, well. But it's nice. It's like we take parts that we see in the world and we make them about us, and that's how we create our character in this video game. Just kidding. And we can do the same with our thoughts. So the ones we like, we say, "Oh yeah, that sounds like me. Yeah, I'm clever. I'm funny. Yeah." So we take those and we create our character. But the ones that haunt us, we don't have to make them about us. They can, we don't have to create an emotional connection to them. I used to have a therapist a few years ago, and he told me, "You're not so special, you're not so unique. Anyone who's ever stood waiting for the train has thought either to jump or to push the person in front of them on the rail." And I guess that's a good thing to think about, so you don't stand on the front when you're waiting for the train, but also to have in mind so you don't feel so alone when you have these, what can sometimes be really morbid and weird and dark things that pop into your mind. I know for myself, I've had a lot of shame about the things that goes on in my mind. And it wasn't until I was introduced to psychedelics and understood the root of them, and understood that actually everything was about vulnerability and feeling safe and loved and like able to express myself, and yeah, so many things that it came down to. But it was when I realized that, instead of thinking like, "Oh, I'm so sick," because every time I told myself I'm sick, I'm like confirming it as well. I'm relating to the darkness, and I'm building my character more and more on that. And that's when, things can get sidetracked quickly, and that's when you become fucking Ted Bundy. But didn't happen for me, thank psychedelics. My sister is schizophrenic, and I can imagine if she hadn't had so much shame when she was younger about the thoughts she was having, then they wouldn't have spiraled in the same way either. So we don't come from a paradise family, and my sister was having thoughts about harming our parents. And she had so much shame about that it spiraled into becoming an intrusive thought that spiraled into becoming a compulsive thought. And so what was first just this like innocent impulse, like when you want to push someone on the train rail, it spiraled into becoming like this intrusion, this obsession, something that just loops in your mind over and over and over again, which then spiraled into becoming a manifested outer voice, which on occasions, when it's really bad, is even a hallucination in the form of a woman sitting on her chest telling her to do things that she would never do because she's the best person. But the darkness that she carries is, you know, traumas manifested in different ways, and we live in a world where there are a lot of traumas. I believe that we can probably feel the suffering of this world without having to read the newspaper every day. There's so much going on that it would be very weird if we didn't have these shadows within ourselves. And so I often wonder if we were to look at these shadows in a curious way instead of a fearful way, I wonder what we would find then. So for example, instead of looking at Ted Bundy in the way we have, like, ooh, he's so different from us, we should study him, we should look at Ted Bundy and see what would have to happen for me to end up that way. Because most of us think we're not capable of these things. But it's when we realize that we are, that everyone is, under the right circumstances, that's when we can start to map out the whys and prevent them. I'm currently reading this book from Jordan Peterson, and he mentions that when veterans come home from war, one of the reasons they have PTSD is not because they've seen all the blood, guts, and gore and the death tolls, but because they've witnessed the monster within themselves. And I believe that if we can take an honest look at our own monsters, then we'll find out that they're not as terrifying as we thought they were. But the more we're scared of them, the more we run from them, the more they'll chase us. And it's something I found out the hard way through years and years and years of chronic nightmares. Through a psychedelic journey, I was once able to sort of enter a nightmare, and I was looking this monster in the eyes, quite literally, until the monster fell to the floor and became my weeping mom, who became a child, who was then like lifted off the ground as some fucking saint and like flew away. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, the monsters, they're as powerful as we make them. And so when we continue to run from them, they continue to chase us, and we continue to give them power. So I think we need to stop empowering the monsters by hiding them in the shadows. We need to shine light on them to find out why they're there, what they want, because it might not be so bad. It might just be a bundle of pain screaming to be held. Whatever it is, however dark it may seem, the reason might be the most purest and most innocent. So don't ever feel ashamed. Don't be afraid to speak up, whatever it is. And know that you're not alone. We're all fucked up. We all have deep, disturbing things going on in our minds that doesn't always define us. And I'm always here if you want to speak about it. I'm always here to listen to you completely free of judgment. So that's it for me today. I wish you well on your monster exploring journey. Please give me a report how it goes. Just remember not to stand on the front when you're waiting for the train. And be good and be kind. Oh yeah, that's my outro now, I think. Be kind. Yeah, I have a song. What is... Be kind, be true, be you. See? Maybe it works. Let's see if it sticks. Be kind. Be kind. Bye, 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 bye.